All right, so it is March 16th, 2019. Mikey Garcia challenged Errol Spence Jr. for his welterweight IBF title. And I'm just putting it on record right away in the beginning when he first was announced. I don't see this going the distance. I see Errol Spence being in a class of his own. There's no way that he is going to make it through the fight as Mikey Garcia. I mean, not making it through the fight. Mad respect to Mikey Garcia for being a fighter in general and being a champion at that. I do feel that his confidence was built off of the preset that he didn't too much believe as much in himself in fighting Adrian Broner and then fighting Easter, but he actually beat both of them comfortably, and I feel that's what built his confidence. And his confidence was built falsely because of he knows that Adrian Broner was known for sparring Errol Spence. And I think that maybe he got a bug in his ear saying that Errol Spence was going tit for tat with Adrian Broner. And he felt if Adrian Broner was going tit for tat with Errol Spence and I beat those two, then I for sure think I have a high probability to beat Errol Spence. But Errol Spence, to me, he is almost a perfectionist in the ring. He wants to win his way, and he wants to train his way, and he's comfortable with training and winning his way. And due to that, when he's sparring, I don't feel that he is sparring to try to knock the guy out or take the guy. He is sparring to challenge himself to become more efficient with how he fights. So when he was going tit for tat with guys and sparring, it was because he was just training and working, but not because he was trying to take their head off and knock them out. I truly believe that Errol Spence, he desires to be the greatest, and due to that, he just trains. And he's not trying to, he doesn't want to ruin, just say you have, one of those water heavy bags or, teardrop bags or uppercut bags. You wouldn't want to, if you knew that a certain punch every time is going to pop the bag and you have to go and get a new bag, you're not going to keep popping the bag unless you're an idiot. You're going to you're going to pull away from that punch when you throw it, but just get the, before pop punch, but you're not going to punch it to pop it. You're going to pull back. Where I feel like Errol Spence, he is so good that when he's sparring, he doesn't have to give it his all. He just gives it enough to know that, yeah, I would kill this guy in a real fight, or I would hurt this guy in a real fight. I mean, I know how that feels. When I was training, I would always pull back on my punches because of I wanted to keep working. I wanted to get some rounds, and I wanted to be able to make sure that I could learn. So I believe Errol Spence is that way. Another thing that kind of concerns me, let me step back a moment. There's I watched a lot of Mikey Garcia's fights, and there was no one that he fought that I would put as a Chris Algieri or put as Kell Brook when it comes down to size, stature, and strength and capability. And from there, because there's no one that he has fought, I don't even think that Mikey Garcia could beat a Kell Brook. Chris Algieri, I don't think he could beat him. So there's just a lot of people that I feel that would give Mikey Garcia a difficult time at 147 that has nothing to do with naming the top people. So I truly believe that Mikey Garcia is either a very smart businessman and he realizes that this is a very good financial move for his career and it has nothing to do with winning the fight. And he is playing his position to allow it. But this fight reminds me of if Air, this fight reminds me of Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez. When Canelo Alvarez was fighting Mayweather, Mayweather took him and fought him at a time where he was still somewhat of a pup. Even though he had so many years of experience, but he didn't have an amateur background, he was fighting him as a pup. So because of that, it was very, very, it was passing, the torch on to Canelo Alvarez to say, hey, he's going to be the next great thing. But the old line's going to show you some new tricks. He's going to show you some new moves. And Canelo Alvarez was never the same. He became a better boxer. He became a better fighter, not just because, but just because he was young and he was going to be developing more and more. And he got, basically a schooling by one of the greatest, Mayweather, in that fight. When it comes down to, Garcia and Errol Spence too as well, I truly believe that it could be on the lines of a Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya, that he is now becoming a pay-per-view star as well because of that's really, I feel, what cemented Mayweather as being a pay-per-view starting out star, and it started to continue to grow more and more as he got into the Canelo Alvarez's, and he got into, he did Cotto, I think. He did a few other fighters that really, I think, set him up to be, so he started fighting pay-per-view, after the De La Hoya. So that being said, getting back to what I said previously, of what concerns me the most about it is that Mikey Garcia, I truly believe, is going to get knocked out with a hook. It's going to be a hook, and it's because it's coming from southpaw. It will be a left hook, or it doesn't even matter, because either hook is going to be very simple. I think for going to be very simple for actual Errol Spence to land. I don't even think Errol Spence is really going to need to go to the body with Mikey Garcia to knock him out. His chin, if you look at the weigh-ins, his chin is in the same position. His chin is in the same position as Errol Spence's shoulder. Now, Errol Spence has fought people his stature, but he's never been able to get the leverage of having to throwing his hooks in a very anatomy-based hook where it's very comfortable to throw the hook. If you throw your hook and it's right here, it's way more comfortable than throwing your hook right here. So when he's throwing his hook and he's throwing his hook from his shoulder, which is right here, that's a very comfortable hook because he's going to generate a little more power because he's not extending it. The closer it is, it's like trying to break a small stick instead of breaking a large stick. If you break a large, if they're both the same thickness and you go to break a stick that is, 12 inches long, it's way easier to break a stick 12 inches than 4 inches long. So the closer you can get to that joint, your shoulder, and that, the lower is going to be strong, right here is going to be strong. So I truly believe that the hooks are going to be very, very dangerous. I think Mikey Garcia will get hurt with the first hook thrown that really lands solid. I think he's going to realize at that moment that this strength is way too much. The fights are playing behind me, so behind the camera. But Jalen Love is is real amped up, and he's fighting really aggressive, but he just seems like he's a dwarf compared to this other guy height wise. But he looks like he's solid. I seen him in his weigh-in. He was ready to go. But back to what I was saying, I truly believe that Mikey Garcia is completely not at the level to be fighting an Errol Spence right now. And I don't think he ever would be. He's just not, God has created height and distance and size and strength for everyone. And I just feel like Mikey Garcia could be great and would have stayed great being in his position but I feel truly this is a business move, and that that's why he is, promoting all these supplements and everything else like that, because he's taken full opportunity to transition over to being a salesman, because he sold this fight as in that he really seen something, when really what he seen was those commas on his pay stub go up dramatically, and seeing the commas and the zeros that were going to increase in his pay. Jalen just got hurt with a punch. He just got hurt. Not good. But okay. All right, guys. Well, let's enjoy the fights. I might upload this right now. This will be my first video. Please like and subscribe. Dennis's Nature Show. I will be doing a lot more fighting and everything. I think Dayon Love is about to get knocked out. I think he's going to lose this fight. I think he has been in the Mayweather gym maybe too long. No offense. I love my melanated brothers, but he's fighting another melanated brother. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.